So easy. So the best way is to watch someone do it for the first time. And Jackie, what I don't have for that is a bottle of wine that fits the funnel.
I shall investigate.
Investigate, or for our one that's already made. Maybe Lisa has a regular bottle that she uses or something. So, do I need to keep talking?
Yeah. I'm just going to check the sound.
This is called Monologue by Marilyn, and we still need to work out something about the sound. So I'm not quite sure if I start step by step or not.
Okay, can someone just give us sound?
Keep going, keep going. Can anyone hear me out there? Hello, hello. One small step.
Okay, sounds on. Excellent, fantastic, good. Let's continue. Did you miss that whole beginning bit? I wonder. Anyway.
I don't think I said anything important, but Jackie did. Jackie said lots of important.
So let's go. We're going to go with the chiffon cake. All right.
Let's just get into it because we might run out of time.
I wonder if we should start again.
Chiffon cake is very, very popular in Jewish kosher homes because it is a light, fluffy cake that's based on oil, so it's dairy-free, and it's light enough that you can have sliver after sliver after sliver, wind up eating a whole cake and not feel terribly full. It's light, it's fluffy, and it's delicious. And we've done one especially for Rosh Hashanah with honey in it as well to sweeten it up even more. So it's exactly what you said, want to serve your guests.
So Selena, do you think we should stop this and start again? I'm just saying Selena's listening and giving us some feedback. Should we start again and repeat the beginning? Would that be a great thing to do? And can this one? Let's see what Selena says. I think we probably should.
Are you still, is it my face showing?
Yeah, you're on it, Marilyn, and we're live, so you can stop. But I might show you, while we're waiting, we've got a cake in the oven, we've got a poppy seed and orange cake in the oven. Look, we'll just continue on, I think.
Do you want me to show everyone what I look like when I frown, or only when I smile?
Okay. All right, let's keep going. Okay, go.
All right, so we're on. Are we ready to rock and roll?
Yeah,
okay, chiffon cake, honey cake, let's put them together, let's have them for Rosh Hashanah. Jewish New Year. In my bowl here, just to get things started because it's a bit noisy making it with a mix master. So we've got 6 egg yolks and half of the sugar.
Oh, so here we are. This is Welcome to the Monday Morning Cooking Club Kitchen Chaos because our time has just gone up for another cake which we're making. Sorry, Marilyn, we're going to have to put that on hold. Okay. Lynn, can you just grab this cake? So we've been making a poppy seed and orange chiffon cake today, testing a recipe for our 4th book. And this is a recipe that comes from a cooking class I did years ago with Marika Brugman in Harquaidale, Victoria, which was incredible. And I think this is the best orange and poppy seed cake around. And because we've got blood oranges and because we had poppy seeds, which I'll tell you about in a minute, we thought we'd whip this up and see what it's like with blood oranges today. So Lynn's just going to test it. It looks to me ready. I like to feel the top of it, and it feels quite solid, so I think it's ready. So we need to give that about 5 minutes or so just to sit in the tin, and then we're going to tip it out and pour this gorgeous syrup that we've been making, which is thickened up a bit. We'll have to warm that, and that's going to go over the top. So let's go back to the... Jax, can you be in charge of that syrup? We just want to warm it up a little bit without
have a good job
cooking it. Okay, go.
Take 3.
Let's go.
Honey chiffon cake. We're going to get straight into it now. Enough with the ad-libbing. 6 egg yolks and half of the sugar. Okay. And please ask lots and lots of questions. This is your opportunity. Get in touch. Ask me any question that you can about chiffon cakes, and I will try my damnedest to answer. So I have been whisking already, but you can use a flat beater on this part of it. Egg yolks and sugar. Half of the sugar.
Okay.
We're going to add the oil. Can we get a close-up, Lisa, to show... Lisa, can we get a close-up to show everyone how thick it goes, please? Imagine that this has been beating. I hope you can hear me because I'm right next to the phone. Imagine this has been beating for 4 or 5 minutes and it's gone lovely and thick and ribbony. Stay there, Lisa. I'm going to show everyone what it looks like. Can you see those beautiful ribbons of egg and sugar coming down? That's what we're looking for out there, okay? Now, on low, here I have my oil. I need to read how much I had. 3/4 of a cup of light olive oil, which is what I personally use, or grapeseed oil. And we're just going to put that in.
Hi Judy, thanks for joining us and thanks for letting us know you can hear us.
Hi Judy, thank you. Okay, so I need to turn this up a little bit. If you can't hear me because of the KitchenAid, please let us know. I think that will do on there. And then we're going to mix in, I'll turn that off for now. Over here we have a half a cup, can we see?
Yep.
A half a cup of black tea, strong black tea. And over here we've got 3/4 of a cup of honey. And the tea should be hot. It's warm and it should be hot, okay? I think we'll be fine. I don't think it's going to matter too much. We mix the tea into the honey.
And that also helps
Or
actually
vice versa.
get the honey out of the bowl. You know, we always have these debates
Yeah,
about
that's
how
right.
to get honey out of bowl. So pouring the hot tea over it actually helps you get it out really easily.
Can everyone see that?
So this is the honey chiffon cake that we showed you a couple of Facebook Lives ago, the first session we
that's
did,
right.
where
That's
we took
right.
it out of the tin.
Yeah.
And it was really airy and really amazing, and it's so delicious and light. This is the cake we're making now.
So I've mixed the honey into the tea, and over here I have sifted how much flour? 1.5 cups of self-raising flour and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And what we're going to do is alternate the liquid and the flour into the egg yolk mixture. And I've just got to double check because I'm a little bit concerned I'm getting it wrong.
And
That's
this
right.
is pretty
No, I've
much
got
a
it right.
standard thing. So any chiffon cake you make, you're going to start with the yolks and the sugar, and you're going to add the oil in, and then you're going to alternate the liquid, whatever that may be. Sometimes it's orange juice. In this case, it is tea and honey with the flour. And that's pretty much standard for any chiffon cake. So once you've mastered this method, you can actually use it for any of the amazing recipes around. If you're familiar with our books, we have got how many chiffon cakes in the first book? 3. Would you believe that? We've got Marilyn's mother's custard chiffon cake, which is probably the best chiffon in the world, truly in the world. We've got a beautiful chocolate chiffon cake from Lindy that's amazing, and we've got a wonderful orange chiffon from Marilyn's mother's friend,
Ava Grunstein.
Ava Grunstein. So that's the 3.
And Ava was my mother's next door neighbour in the old country. So I just think it's so beautiful that the two of them were chiffon cake queens. I love that. And they were both incredible bakers.
So you can see.
Your mum's passed on her queenness to you.
Yeah, I know.
Chiffon queen.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can see she's alternated the liquid and the flour, and as I said, this is something that is standard to all chiffon cakes, okay? They all follow the same method, and you just need to substitute whatever ingredients are in your particular chiffon cake.
So,
Now,
little tip, I would not be beating it in on high. I don't want to activate the glutens in the flour, and as soon as it's in, stop beating. I'd rather just stir in the last couple of little bits. How delicious does that look?
so if you've got two bowls for your mix master, this is the time you're going to use them, because you'll have one for this egg yolk mixture and the other one for the egg whites.
Scusi.
Okay, so how's that syrup looking, Jax?
It's becoming nice and runny, ready to pour.
Okay, fantastic. So I think we're ready to turn that cake out. Would one of you, do you want to
Do
do
you want
that?
me to wait to do my egg whites?
Okay, do you want to do the cake now? Let's get this cake out. This is where we hope and pray.
Straight onto that.
It might be hot. Yeah, straight onto that. It might be hot though, Jax.
It is right.
Yeah. This is where we hope and pray that the cake comes out of the tin. You know, bundt tins, I think, are notoriously hard for getting things
We
out.
are taking major risks on Facebook Live.
Yeah, so this is live risk.
This is live.
You ready?
Straight to you.
And see, there's 2 handles on the side of it. See the 2 handles?
I see.
So this is how it happens. And Jax gets off the plane from Hong Kong and goes 1, 2, 3,
Can I
flip.
tap a bit first?
Yeah,
to
she
give
sees
it-
she's a bit nervous. Is anyone else nervous? Is anyone else holding their breath like I am?
Dum, dum, dum.
1, 2, ready.
Ready?
Go.
Everyone holding your breath. Does a little jiggle. Got that jiggle on live TV,
Got it.
on live camera. Okay, so let's pop it down. Now the challenge is taking this tin off actually. This is one of those tins that...
Slips and slides.
yeah, it does, but maybe they're good, those things. Let's hope and pray. Ah, I feel like we should come back to it in a minute.
It hasn't come out exactly yet, but I think it needs some coaxing.
Well, hey, Pauline, thanks for joining us. I don't know who's more interesting, us or the US debate. That's a very, very interesting question. Hopefully you can do both at once. Multitasking is good. Oh, Selena, yeah, we're nervous too because it is taking a while. So what do we think?
I think we should leave it and cool it a bit further.
Okay,
then we can do it.
Let's see if we can get it up. Come on.
You're right.
The on a flat plate that we can bang around a little bit.
Yeah, that would be better.
But we're putting a syrup on it, which is why I didn't want it on a flat plate. So now we're going to have a debate about the plate and whether I chose the right plate. How hot is this?
Hot, shitty hot. If I can get the other handle.
Oh, you know, it hasn't come out. So, yeah.
Are you worried?
Sorry about my bad filming. Yeah, I'm a bit worried. Yeah, so it's clearly not coming out. Okay, Lynn's come to... I know, I've got a better idea. Let's just do it on the bench. Let's just flip it upside down onto the bench.
Can we just knock it a bit? First look, see, it's coming away now.
Jack's to the rescue. Off the plane from Hong Kong, straight to the
I
rescue
think
of
we
this
should
cake.
knife that middle bit.
Okay,
think it's
so we'll
too
come back to...
much?
I'm going to
Wanna
leave
knife
those
it in
to
the
it.
back, Jack?
I hope you're not...
Gonna
I hope you're
knife
not
that cake in the
still
back.
holding your breath, girls out there and boys out there.
Look.
Hey, Lainey, nice to see you. Lainey says go, Jack.
It's coming.
Does Lainey say go?
Lainey says go, Jack.
If Lainey says
I think
go.
do it straight onto the bench. That's what I think. As
Really?
hard as you can. Yeah, well, not really hard, but you know what I mean.
Ready?
Ready, set, go.
It
Yeah.
came out. No, it didn't come out. Jeez.
So anyway, we'll come back to this in a second.
Yes.
Let's go back. Shall we go back to the chiffon cake?
Yes.
And leave everyone hanging, right?
All right, no, okay.
Cliffhanger.
Oh. I have to say, I'm the one who buttered it.
It's like giving birth. I think I need pethidine.
Oh yeah, it's out. Now slowly. It's
Now
out.
can I transfer it to the plate?
No, we'll do worry about that after. Let's just get it up first. Get the lid off it. The catching
Is it
off
all out or just...
slowly.
We could be doing a repair job. Oh, yeah.
It's a bit crashed on the... Yeah. Okay.
Keep going.
Let's go. Yeah.
I think it's crowning. I don't actually feel confident.
I don't think you should.
I think
Come on, just do it.
I think I'm going to give it to someone else.
Yeah, Selena, we don't want to ruin the pan with the knife. That's the problem with these non-stick pans.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay, we're going to leave that for a moment and come back to it.
Occasionally what happens in the kitchen, and just to show that we're real human beings like everyone else, sometimes cakes don't come out of the cake tin very well.
Yeah.
This is the eaten mess version of...
We're going to turn this into a new dessert called orange and poppy seed mess with syrup. Okay, back to the chiffon cake. Let's go.
I would completely and totally eat that in a minute because
Okay.
it's got poppy seeds.
All right.
And let's stir poppy seed all through the cream and
Yeah.
put marmalade
Yeah.
as well, and it's done.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I need a whisk or it's not going to work, right?
Okay. So the secret with beating egg whites is, of course, a clean, dry bowl and a clean, dry whisk. It's really the two essential things. And
Correct.
people say that if the egg whites are at room temperature, you're going to get more volume. But we've all made chiffon cakes straight from the fridge and you know, it's okay.
I personally think that by the time you've separated the eggs and you've done all your measuring and then you've done your egg yolk mix, that the egg whites are almost at room temperature.
Okay, so let's go. So now we're going to whisk the egg
Okay,
whites.
we're ready for some noise, peeps. Oh, egg whites. Let's talk egg whites.
Oh, hey, Maddie, nice to see you there. And, yeah, Cooper was in there. Did you see him? He's been to the beach and he's all wet. Hey, Maria, nice to see you there. Yeah, it is true reality. Reality is right. This is reality Facebook Live.
Reality. So I want to talk egg whites, Lisa, okay? Let's talk whisking egg whites. If you can hear it, I've got the KitchenAid on low, just breaking up the egg whites. There's a little bit of a trick, particularly when you're making pavlova or meringues. If you turn the Mixmaster on high really quickly, go from 0 to high, you're going to get big bubbles. And those big bubbles then burst and everything collapses. Pardon me. So you want to start it on low and gradually turn it up. And in fact, don't ever beat your egg whites on high. Go low and slow, or medium and slow, and just let them whisk. They'll come up firm, but they'll come up with lovely tiny bubbles that don't collapse. So we're just going to leave it like that for a few minutes and consider what to do with our other poppy seed cake.
Okay. Hey Tamara, thanks for checking in. I'm glad you can hear us. Thank you for letting us know. And hi Liliana. You used to be a professional baker. Lucky you.
Liliana.
I think today we're partly unprofessional bakers, but anyway, because our cake did not come out. But it's okay. So here we go. This is the truth of it.
I have taken an Instagram photo of it, ready to prove.
Yeah, so you know, this is the cake. So now I think what we should do is grab a plastic knife.
I have.
Yeah, and get it out and see if we can do a little repair job.
Okay, so...
It does look delicious though.
Okay, but here's the discussion. What do you think we did wrong? This is the discussion because we actually know how delicious this cake is. So just one little thing has happened today that's gone wrong and we need to be able to correct it for next time.
Well, I buttered the tin.
Do you think you should have buttered and floured?
I do.
Me too. Me too.
So I'm going to butter and
Butter
flour
and
next time.
flour.
So we'll make it again next time or next week and I'll post it on Facebook or Instagram and we'll see if we can do it better. Okay.
Let's have a quick look at the egg whites again. How long do you think it's been?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Let's have a quick look. I'm just going to turn off for 1 minute to show you. Can everyone see that? That's sort of soft peaks. So now I actually could turn it up higher because I'm not going to make big bubbles, no troubles. And I'm going to put in the sugar. This was the half of the sugar that we left behind. So the recipe is for 175 grams of sugar, and this is half of it that we've left behind. Hope you can all hear me. And we're just going to keep whisking it until we've got stiff peaks.
Okay, so while that's whisking to stiff peaks, I just want to talk to you about the chiffon cake tin.
I'll get the chiffon cake tin so the other cakes don't.
This is really the thing that everybody talks about the most, is the tin. I think that people ask us all the time, and we used to sell them on our website, but they're really hard to get, so we haven't been able to get them. But this is pretty much, this is my old tin, and this is it. So it is not non-stick. I'm going to say that again. It is not non-stick, and do not try and use a non-stick tin for chiffon cakes, because what you want with a chiffon cake is you want it to stick to the tin. So it is made of aluminium, it has got a removable base, and it's got a funnel. They're the essential elements. Okay. The other thing is it's got feet so we can turn it upside down, but we use a bottle anyway, which I'll talk about in a second. But that is the essential elements of the chiffon tin. Sorry, back to Marilyn.
We need to come back. So folding egg whites into this beautiful egg yellow mix.
I'm just going to go over here,
Can I come over this side so I'm working right-handed?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put in a little bit of the egg white to get it started. Might get that away from
So we've got the mixture that we made earlier with egg yolks and sugar, oil, honey and tea. And then Marilyn whisked the egg whites with the remaining half cup of sugar. And now she's lightening the egg yolk mixture with some of the egg whites before she folds the final. And you note she's doing it from outside, around the outside to the inside. And that's the way we all, I think, now fold our egg whites in. It's just a very sort of relaxed movement that sort of you get your own rhythm. So now the rest of the egg whites are going in one lot. And we all argue a bit about whether we put the egg whites into the yolk mixture or the yolks into the white mixture.
Well, you all know what I do now, right?
Yeah, so this is what Marilyn does.
But we have another argument as well. It's called Natanya and Marilyn against Lisa. Because Natty and I believe that egg whites are better folded in with a metal spoon. It cuts through the egg whites and it doesn't break them down. But our dear friend Lorraine Godsmark, who's really the baking queen of Sydney, agrees with Lisa that a spatula is just fine. So a spatula.
I find that apart from the fact that I hate the sound the metal spoon makes on the metal bowl, which is one of my issues, we can talk about that another time, but I find that the spatula really gets every bit from the edges more than a metal spoon does. You know, you can get to the bottom, you can get to the edges. So the aim here is to keep it light, to keep mixing. I also sometimes turn the bowl, but I think that's just a habit
Yeah,
that
I
I've
do too.
picked up, and sort of cut through it with the spatula, but really staying around the outside and then coming in at the end of the turn.
And stop as soon as it's mixed in. Like, I'm just about done on this one. I cannot believe how big and fluffy this cake is today. This is going to be the Rolls Royce of chiffon cakes. The bowl is completely and totally full.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Okay, we're ready?
Lynn, can you make sure the oven's on 180, please? Because I think it might not be. What do we need? 180? Yep. So this is the chiffon cake that we're making. If you're just tuning in now, this is the honey chiffon cake that we made 2 Facebook Lives ago when we showed you how to take it out of the tin. There'll be a picture and a recipe up on our Facebook page in the next day or 2.
Okay. I really want everyone to see this pouring into the tin because it is sumptuous. Is that a word?
Really is. And I'm all my willpower not to just go like, oh.
You can have the bowl. You can have the bowl.
So here goes.
And sometimes if I see a bit of egg white that didn't go through, I just give it a quick little extra stir.
I mean, that's just divine, isn't it? Can
Look,
you all see that?
It's like velvet. Can you get that running right there? If I go slowly, can you see that? Yum. It's funny, Lisa doesn't like the sound of metal on metal, but when I hear it, I think chiffon cake coming, and I love it.
Okay, so look at that. I mean, it's a very big cake.
That is a huge cake today.
That's a very, very big cake. But remember when you buy your chiffon tin, you need to buy a big one. They come in smaller sizes. You really need the biggest one that they have. And remember, it mustn't be non-stick. It must be aluminium, and it must have a removable base with a funnel. And you can tell the chiffon cake tin because they've got these little legs. So it's actually also called an angel cake tin.
Angel cake tin. Now, I don't know, my mum taught me to do this really close up. We give it 2 or 3 taps to get rid of the very big bubbles that might have formed. Did you see them pop?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what I do. I like to run my finger around the outside edge.
Why?
So I can taste it. But do talk about the bottle before you put it in the oven. Because what we're going to have to do when it comes out of the oven is invert the cake, turn it upside down onto a bottle. The worst thing that can happen, and we all agree, we all have done it, is that you put your tin in the oven, you can't remember which bottle it is, and then you've got a hot cake and you don't know what's going to fit.
Check the bottle's closed.
Check, that's a really good one because you don't want to have your
Should
sherry.
we show?
Yeah, so we're just checking. Yep, so that's a perfect one. So I use this port bottle. That seems to be my chiffon. Is it masala?
Masala.
My masala.
She's got her alcohols wrong.
Yeah, I must have finished the port.
It does double time between the scallopini alla masala.
Okay, so Marilyn's going to put that into the oven. It's about 50 minutes or so to an hour.
I actually keep an old soy sauce bottle in the drawer with my cake tin.
So now it's going in the oven. And you guys all won't be here when it comes out, but we'll show you pictures on Facebook, so make sure you check back.
So it really isn't that hard. Was anything hard? No.
So
no baking paper, no oiling the tin, no oiling and flouring.
So any questions, any chiffon questions out there? I've got a question from Selena about why we would butter and flour the tin for the...
Please tell everyone it's 1 hour in the oven.
Yeah, I did already, I think. I said it's about 50 minutes. So here's our disaster of a cake, which we're going to put on the cake. I think we should just... Yeah.
I think.
Well, otherwise it'll end up all over my bench. So can you... Is there any way of picking it up?
It can't be any worse than it already is.
Can I just give you this for a sec? Can you just take over this for a second?
Yes.
We need to slide
Okay,
it on.
I have got in
Look
here...
at the repair job that has been done on this cake. It's phenomenal, if I say so myself. Lisa is now looking for a way
I actually have a
transfer
pizza slide.
using a pizza slice this cake onto this dish. It will almost be a feat of magic if it can happen.
Okay.
She's ready.
Ready?
Okay. Watch and pray.
Well done.
Okay. Look, hardly anything moved. Excellent. Look at that.
Okay. All right. So And
Oh, there's a lot of love for this cake.
we're supposed to poke holes in the top of it to allow the syrup to go in. But there's, I think there's actually enough holes.
I think
I'm
the
just gonna do
holes
this.
are...
Holes today.
Oh, too late. Okay. I think we've got an... Oh! Yeah, well, it's really... I
Look,
just
look
want
how
to...
much love's
I'm just
coming through.
evening the cracks up so it looks like we meant to do it. So now it's called... This is the cracked poppy seed and orange cake. It's a special cake cracked like this to make it look more rustic. Who thinks it looks lovely and rustic? And now we're going to pour this gorgeous syrup all over it. And this is made with blood orange juice and lemon juice. And I think it still looks pretty
I actually
good.
think it looks amazing.
It's mouth-watering.
So this is the
Smell
syrup,
is fantastic.
which is we probably cooked it a little bit, because we cooked it ahead this morning, we probably overcooked it a bit, so it's a bit thicker than you might like. It'll still be delicious and marmalade-y though. So there we are.
You're getting a lot of thumbs up.
Really?
You are getting a lot of thumbs up. There's a lot of love for this cake. It's gone
Right.
through a few trials and tribulations. But
Yeah, so you know what, we'll have a taste after. I just wonder what the problem is. We need to
Address
look at that. Okay, so Selena's asked why we suggested buttering and flouring the tin rather than just buttering. And I think we always find that buttering and flouring just does make it easier to get out of the tin.
I think butter and flour is what our mothers did before silicone paper existed, and it must make a smoother surface on the cake tin and a little bit of a crust on the cake so that it comes out. That's what I reckon.
Okay, so on to the next. Oh, by the way, these are some poppy seed cookies that we made this morning.
This is the mouthful that someone anonymous took.
That was me. Because we didn't know how thick or thin to roll them. The recipe was not clear enough. And I got to say, we're not happy with our first batch. So we now need to decide whether to give it another go or not. And anyway, we'll see.
Let us know, would you like to have a biscuit this thickness with your cup of tea? Or a cookie? Do I call it a cookie? Or would you prefer a biscuit this thickness? Ta-da!
Anyone who's tuned in, tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to chat to you. We're trying to build this online community. Remember, we are on Facebook Live, and we're the Monday Morning Cooking Club. And we are here probably every couple of weeks now. We're going to bring you into our kitchen, and we're going to share what we're cooking. We're always going to give you a recipe to take home, and now we're going to talk about the recipe. Remember, please, to like it, to share it, to do all those Facebook things that are so important in helping us create our online community. Okay, Lynn, let's talk about blood oranges.
So this beautiful salad, I've started already, and you'll notice that the juice from the oranges...
Can I just show everybody, oh, it's a bit hard to pick it up, to just how amazing these blood oranges are. I mean, that's an orange, and look at the colour of it. It is just phenomenal. So, and they're only in season for a little while.
And look at this. Look at the different colours in one orange over here. Isn't that just beautiful?
So, Lynn, show us quickly how you cut the orange,
And keep the juice.
Yeah, it's really great. We love the juice because when it mixes with the dressing, it just makes a beautiful, you know,
So
exotic
hold
juice
the
to go
knife,
with it.
And as close as you can, take off the skin, removing the white pith and not too much orange as you go.
So the idea is to get all the white pith off. Pith off. Let's try that. Try all the white pith off. Okay. Jax is over here with the dates.
I've got the dates. Some have been depipped. That's it. Much easier to say than pith off.
I mean, we're just having a debate, sorry, Jax, about how to cut the dates. I know that Philip, whose recipe it is, Philip Carr, he slices them sort of in slivers, but we wanted to try something a bit different today. So we've been having an argument before we went live about how we should slice them.
Debate.
No, it's an argument.
Okay.
It's been a full-on argument. We've been shouting. We've been throwing dates at each other. No, I'm joking. So what do you reckon? I'd love to know what you all think. Anyone got a view on how we should cut the dates for this salad? Perhaps I think we should do it crossways. Let's try it crossways into maybe 4.
Oh, I found you. I found us.
Marilyn's excited. She just found us on Facebook.
I found us on Facebook Live, and now I'm live.
On live.
Facebooking us on Facebook Live. That's just bizarre.
That's the digital
Oh my
world.
God, it's
So
bizarre.
these beautiful medjool dates.
That's in full.
And it took us about 3 years actually to realise the difference, what we call them. So these we call medjool dates, which are the plump, not dry ones. These are the plump ones. And then the ones you buy from the supermarket in the baking aisle we call dry dates. And sometimes we have recipes that need dry dates, and sometimes we have recipes that need medjool dates.
And I've just halved the dates right down the middle to take the pip out. Very easy. Just one quick.
Jax actually loves dates. When I think of cooking with dates, I think of Jax, because in our first book we have an amazing, amazing recipe called Nikki's Date Slice, and
One of my
it
favourites.
is Jackie's. It's one of all our favourites, and Jackie makes it all the time, and she's very good at dealing with dates. And that recipe comes from the lovely late Janice, who passed away a few years ago after our book was published, and we always think of her and her family every time we make
Her
it.
date slice lives on well
Yeah.
and truly, I
Yeah.
can tell you.
Okay, so they're being cut. Now we'll go back to the oranges.
I think one of the nice things about this is that you can prepare all of this in advance and just put it together before you serve. The mint leaves will go brown if you cut them too far in advance.
Okay, so we're going to slice the mint, we're going to chop the dates, and then we're going to
Together.
toss all that. So the first thing you do is you peel the pith and the peel and the pith from the oranges, just like Lynn has done. I don't know, for those of you who have got our first book, have you seen our blood orange compote, which comes from the kitchen
We've got comments on our biscuits.
Oh, okay.
We've got, thanks Judy. Judy wants thicker biscuits. Selena says thicker with 3 exclamation marks, so you're a winner, Selena. Maddie says thicker with 1 exclamation mark. Oh, tomorrow we'll try and make some thinner for you. And Lainey, thank you. Oh, and Sue. Hi, Sue. We're going to make them thinner for you.
For some reason, I'm not getting the comment stream on my phone.
And okay, Judy says thicker so we can dunk it in our tea, which I agree with that. I love that idea.
Lynn,
There we go.
do you want that just sliced?
Okay,
Just
so
that.
oranges, we've put it in a beautiful, we love our bowls. This is a Mud Australia ceramic bowl that is just flat. Probably the flat bowl is what I'd call that, which is great to collect all the juices that we're going to have. Jax is busy doing the mint. Philip, I hope you like the way we're doing the mint. I hope it's okay, and I hope we're doing you proud.
Look at all the beautiful juice.
So this recipe is from Philip Carr, from
Oh,
Philip Carr
beautiful
Events, and
juice.
he's been generous enough to share this with us. And Philip also gave us a couple of amazing recipes in our first book. One of my favourites, chocolate
the
croissant
chocolate croissant
pudding,
bread
which
and
is
butter pudding.
actually to die for.
It is chocolate dessert to
Heaven.
die for.
Yeah,
To die
and
for.
he's also given us an artichoke and broad bean stew, which is great.
Yeah.
And now we've got this gorgeous orange dessert. Imagine this after a big heavy meal next week. You've got your brisket and your potatoes and your eggs and your livers, and you're full of all that. And then you bring out this lovely, light, fresh, tangy, exotic dessert. If you can't get blood oranges where you are, don't worry about it. Just use regular oranges.
Yes.
So we've got oranges, we've got pistachios, we've got dates and mint, and we've got our dressing, which I think, Lynn's, have you talked about the dressing? What's in it? Okay,
the
tell us.
So in the dressing is pomegranate molasses, honey, and orange blossom water. And it's really simple, syrupy, and beautiful.
Okay, great. So, Marilyn, you'll have to read talk to the people who are commenting, because I'm not getting anything on my
Okay,
phone.
I don't. At the moment, I'm under. At the moment, I don't have more.
Okay. So anyone who's watching, please ask us any questions. We've just baked a chiffon cake, which is in the oven, which I'll show you. We've baked a poppy seed and orange cake, which has flopped in that it could not come out of the tin. So now we have a rustic poppy seed and orange cake. We've made some poppy seed biscuits, which we've got to talk about. And this is our
Lady.
gorgeous, gorgeous chiffon cake, which is now rising beautifully in the oven, as you can see. Okay.
Lainey says our oranges are yum, and we know Lainey's style of cooking, and I think it would suit her style so well. This is the ultimate dessert after Middle Eastern or even a curry. It would be so good after all those
So I'm just going
robust
to
main
grab
course.
those.
Okay,
meals.
so let's just talk Jewish New Year for a minute, because it is coming up next week, and I know a lot of you are busy planning your menus. If you didn't see it, we have a full Rosh Hashanah menu guide on our Facebook page. I'm just going to Can you help me do this? I just want to get this back here.
I'll come back here. What would you like me to do? As long as it's not too technical.
I'm just having a bit of trouble today. Just want to put this here. Can I just talk this way? Is that going to work?
Yes, I can see you.
Great. There's a few things
I
I wanted to just... Okay.
Lynn's back.
So, hello again. I'm just going to talk for a minute about Rosh Hashanah because Jewish New Year, it's coming up next week, and many of us will be feasting and eating and cooking next Sunday and Monday. And I've just planned my menu. I did it on the weekend, and those who follow me on Insta stories will have seen it. But we have put out an amazing Rosh Hashanah guide. Go to our website and just put in Rosh Hashanah, that's R-O-S-H, and then Hashanah is H-A-S-H-A-N-A-H, Rosh Hashanah, and you'll see our guide using our 2 cookbooks and other recipes. And it's really the only thing you need before you plan your meal. You need to go there. We've got lots of recipes online, more recipes in the books, but it's a really great guide, and I used it to plan my menu. I don't know about you girls, but I've now planned my menu, and I've got my list upstairs, and I'm going to start my chicken soup today. But I'm using all the recipes from our 2 books because I don't need any more. I want to talk to you about honey cake. So this is the honey chiffon in the oven, but on our website we have what we think is the ultimate, usual, regular type of moist, sticky honey cake. Best if you make it 2 days ahead of when you need it. It just seems to improve with age. We have this fantastic silicone tin that we also used to sell for a while that many people have got, which we think is the perfect tin because it's a very big wet cake, and when you put it in a tin that's a clip-on tin, it sometimes leaks. So something like this is ideal. But what you can also do is grab smaller tins like this, and I found these online a couple of years ago, and they're little baby cute ones. So if you want to give a honey cake gift to your friends and you don't want to make 10 huge cakes, this is ideal.
But that's
then
my favourite.
You can go even better, and we bought these last year. This is a bundt tin that is so fantastic, and they make very cute little honey cakes. So the recipe can be found under honey cake on our website. It's actually Gina's hair raising honey cake. It's from our first book, Monday Morning Cooking Club, and honestly, this is, I can't say it's the best cake in the universe because maybe other people have got one that they think, but it's definitely top 5, and it's my number 1, and everyone knows that I make it every year, and everyone who's made it loves it, and I would highly recommend that you go straight to our website now, Gina's Hair Raising Honey Cake, print out the recipe and make it, let's say, on Thursday or Friday, and then take it out of the tin, wrap it in foil, and cut it on Sunday or Monday, and you will be so, so happy. So that's my spiel about Jewish New Year, and let's go back to it, finish up our cooking.
And everyone should watch our kitchen tip on how to make a round challah.
That's the other thing. So Marilyn has actually done a video, which is on Facebook or on our YouTube channel, of how to make
a round challah, because it's the normal challah recipe with some dried fruit if you want it, but it is traditional at this time of year to do it with a round challah, not a normal plait.
Hey Annie, great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Nice to see you. Selena, yeah, that's a great question. We do have a shop on our Facebook page. There's a new thing that Facebook have just introduced like last week, or for us last week, and we now have our shop. So you can buy our aprons, our gift packs, and our cookbooks straight on Facebook. And I've got to say, if I was going somewhere for New Year dinner or anywhere, I can't think of a better present, am I allowed to say this, than our 2 books and an apron. Honestly, if you buy it now, I will personally run up to the post office myself, maybe I'll drive, this afternoon, and I will send it off so you get it by the weekend. It is a really, really great gift pack.
That would be by the weekend in Australia?
Yeah, in Australia.
Sorry, peeps overseas, we can't get it to you that quickly.
No, but we can get it in time for Yom Kippur. So don't forget, Facebook shop, just head there for all our great items. Hey Dahlia, nice to see you, and thanks for commenting and tuning in. It's really good to have all of you with us. Remember, we're on Facebook Live, and we're the Monday Morning Cooking Club, and we are trying to build an online cooking community. Back to the dish.
So this is really becoming one of my very favourite desserts to eat.
Yep.
Because I convinced myself that because it's fruit, it's really healthy.
Well, it is. It is.
So on with the sauce.
Okay. So the
The
sauce is on.
pomegranates.
Oh, I forgot the pomegranates when I was telling you all about it. Pomegranates.
Pomegranates, which are fabulous because
Yeah.
they're very symbolic for Rosh Hashanah. Pistachio nuts.
I mean, everyone must agree that this is a really delicious, simple dessert that I think is quite impressive at the same time. Any comments? Anyone like the look of this?
Thank you,
With the
Tamara.
mince.
Thank you, Tamara. We think the salad looks great also.
Thanks, Tamara. Yeah, we think it's great also, and thanks for tuning in. So there it is.
There
And
it
thanks,
is.
Dahlia.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Dahlia. Thank you so much for getting in touch with us.
We've got oranges, pomegranate, pistachios, and mint, and a beautiful dressing
And
with
I
pomegranate.
just, can I zhuzh? Do you mind?
I'm just going to go around this side because the light's coming in there.
Do you
yeah.
mind if I just zhuzh just a little bit so that we could just get a bit of the orange poking through? Just
What
a
I
teeny
would
weeny
do
weeny
is
bit.
just give it a little mix
Yeah.
so that you also, the dressing mixes with this
Oh,
beautiful
that was perfect
sauce.
just like that.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. And,
Just like
I
that.
would like before I took it to the table, I would put the last remaining pistachios on top.
Yeah.
Can someone taste it? Can we do a live taste?
Yes,
Oh.
but let's just do that.
I get to live taste today. It's my turn.
There we go. Go, Marilyn.
I want the reddest, bloodiest, bloody orange that I can find.
Here we go.
We ready?
Yeah.
And Sarah's tuning in, or it might be Sarah's tuning in, Sarah Doherty from Brizzy. So welcome, Sarah.
Great to have you here, Sarah.
Beautiful.
Delicious.
Oh,
Okay, well, there's the thumbs up from Marilyn. There's our chiffon cake in the oven, which we'll show you a bit
Glorious.
later.
It's actually glorious. Look at that side of that cake rising in the oven.
that cake is huge.
Okay, so
I'm having more.
okay, so Tamara says, what other dessert would we serve with this? Well, for my own Rosh Hashanah dinner, I'm doing our blood orange compote from the first book, which is similar because it's oranges, but it's same sort of idea. And I'm serving it with the honey chiffon cake, and I'm making the Binnenstich, which is this honey and almond slice from our first book from Leonard Goldstein. So it's like a honey and almond slice with pastry, the blood oranges, and a honey chiffon cake, and that's my dessert for next Sunday night. Yeah, come chat to us.
I'm doing honey macadamia wafers.
Okay, so they've got so many honey recipes, it's actually quite amazing. So I just wanted to just run through a couple of things about last week, because some of you have asked us and emailed us, how did the cornflake slice go? How did the biscuits go last week? We decided that sort of cornflake and kofar recipe is not what we want to put in the book and a lot of people wrote in and told us their view, and we agree actually, that we think we need to try to find some more sophisticated and authentic and heirloom recipes if we can. So we're on the hunt for those amazing recipes. The debate about what to call the beta, for those of you who were part of it last week, it is actually called, and we spoke to KitchenAid directly, and they said it's called a flat beta. So I think it was probably a few people said flat beta. So we're not going to call it a pretzel beta, which was a great idea, but we're going to call it a flat beta. And the other thing is, I was talking about a bakery and I couldn't pronounce it, but I've looked it up and it's called Pioik Bakery, and they make the most delicious bread. And we've got to go there for morning tea one day, girls. It's in, near the casino, and I think we've got to try it out. Piedmont, that's it. So Pioik Bakery. And I think that's it from last week. So now I'm just going to say thanks for tuning in today. Sorry we had a few technical difficulties. We need to overcome that. We would love your feedback, what you thought, what we can do better, what we need to do next time, what you'd like to see us cook. Please remember, the most important thing for us is to build this online cooking community with all of you. And the way to do that is for you to like it and share it and comment as much as you can. So come in, girls, and we'll all say goodbye together. We want to wish you all a Happy New Year. Those of you who are celebrating Jewish New Year, we want to say Shana Tova. And wish you can all come in. Shana Tova to all of you, and thanks for being part of our Monday Morning Cooking Club kitchen on a Tuesday. So see you girls. If someone wants to run around and switch it off.
Running.
I will. Bye. You just amuse them while I'm switching it off.
Oh, we've all come around the other side.